Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan, and in this video I'm going to be talking about products that give me that very beautiful dewy finish in my collection. So this was a video that was requested by one of my subscribers and I was like, it's a great idea because during winter months I love to layer on products that make me look extremely glowy and dewy. So that's the reason I'm sitting down to make this video. Now first off, for primer, the only primer that gives me that very nice dewy effect on my skin and is just very long lasting is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. But if it's a little bit too expensive for you, the only primer that comes close to this is the Mask Gripping Primer. These are very similar. It gives you that little bit of like that wet glowy look, but not something that's extremely shiny or like too much. It always just somehow makes my makeup look so much nicer. So that's the reason I really like those two primers. And then now coming to skin tints, I'm trying to keep the products in this video a little bit affordable just so that it's a lot more accessible to a lot of people. Now for a base product that gives you that metallic glow, but I don't really like it as much, is the Mass God's Glow Illuminator. This is a lot of people's favorite. It could be your favorite if you actually manage to get your hands on the right shade. For me, this is a little bit too light and that could be one of the reasons I don't really like it as much, but it gives you that really nice glow once you layer some product on. It is a little bit metallic, and especially if you don't really have the right shade, but the Insight one is a little bit too subtle. But if you want that wet dewy glow, especially if you have like a full coverage foundation that goes on top of this, or like a more tinted product, like a little bit thicker product, this will give you that glow. And for skin tints, I feel like the only two skin tints in my collection that gives me that very visible glow, apart from the Urban Decay Hydromaniac skin tint, are these two. This one is the House of Makeup Face Anything Luminous skin tint. As the name suggests, it is a little bit luminous, it's a little bit thick, so you wouldn't like it if you have very oily skin or if the weather is really hot. That's not the time to use this. But if you have dry skin during the drier winter months, it's a little bit nicer to use this. It's very nice, glowy, dewy on the skin. If you have a lot of texture on your face or like pits, I wouldn't recommend this because I feel like luminous products tend to emphasize that a little bit more. The Fair Beauty Super Serum Skin Tint is also something that gives me that very dewy finish, but this one is a little bit lighter in terms of coverage compared to the House of Makeup one, and a little bit more runny in terms of texture as well. That is a little bit thick and gives you sort of medium coverage, but this one is very skin-like and can be borderline oily. This, okay, I'm straight up giving you guys a disclaimer. More than dewy, it can lean towards borderline oily looking, but because I have very dry skin, it doesn't bother me as much and it doesn't move around my face, doesn't crease or doesn't fade away, so I really like it. But I do feel like the formulation could have been so much better because I feel like the pigment is not evenly dispersed and it's also starting to smell a little bit different ever since I got this. So you can think about it and get your hands on the one that you prefer the most. And then moving on to concealers, I have quite a lot of concealers to recommend when it comes to dewy ones. The first one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Satin Camo Concealer. This is a very hydrating concealer in the sense that it is like a little bit like, it looks visibly hydrating and also can crease and move around a little bit, but it gives really good coverage, and especially if you have very dry under eye area, you would love this concealer. But over that, if you wanted something that is also that doesn't crease as much, cake as much, but looks very skin-like, little bit of dewy finish, you don't really even have to set it, you can try out the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. This is something you can use all over your face, underneath your eyes. It doesn't age you, it doesn't make your under eye area look all the more worse. So I really like this product. I'm not sure if they still have this in stock because most of the times most of the shades are like out of stock, so that's the reason I'm like, should I recommend this or not? But I've used this all over my face, underneath my eyes for an entire day. I don't really even have to set this. It's just very long lasting for me that way. I mean, it does fade away a little bit towards the inner corner, might like fade away by the 4-hour, 5-hour mark, but I'm more than okay with that. I'm just not a powder person. You will never see me reach out for powders as much. I do have few powders I would reach out for here and there where I want a little bit of a brightening effect or something, but other than that, I would never reach out for powders. And then this Swiss Beauty Select High On Liquid Concealer. This has a visible dewy finish underneath the eyes. It's just not very high in terms of coverage. Like the e.l.f. one, the NYX one and all gives you medium high coverage, but this one is sort of like light medium to medium coverage. Also fades away a little bit sooner, but for all over the face, it's a very nice concealer to use. It has that visible dewy finish. It has that serum-like texture. It's very lightweight. So if you have dry skin and you wanted something for day-to-day usage, just not like, it doesn't look like you've kicked on a lot of makeup, this would work out. It's very affordable as well. The next one, which is nearly not as like, you know, lightweight like the other concealers I mentioned, is the House of Makeup Crease Free Creamy Concealer. This is creamy. It's thick. If you don't really like thick concealers, stay away from this and the e.l.f. one. But this, just one dot in your inner corner and blend it, and you will see the coverage, the blendability, the lasting power of this is amazing. It'll pretty much cover everything underneath your eyes, and it's also pretty long wearing. It doesn't crease or cake on me as much, and you could set it if you want to, but the minute I set these very thick creamy concealers, I feel like they just start to look like a hot mess underneath my eyes. So that's the reason I don't do it. And also I've noticed that with this concealer, I like to use it just for my under eye area, not for around the mouth or spot concealing, because I feel like it just is a little bit harder to blend around this part. And it just is a little bit like, it tugs on my skin. So I use this just for my under eye area. This I have in the shade M02. And then for a concealer palette that gives you that visible dewy finish is the Insight HD Concealer Palette. I've given away one of this to my mother. So I have the shade Deep for me right here, which is a little bit too deep. I don't know why I gave away medium and kept deep. But this is a beautiful concealer. And if you have like, you know, deep sunk eyes, I feel like it does kind of look a little bit too dewy and kind of exaggerates that. But other than that, it doesn't cake or crease as much. Again, it's not something that's very similar to the MAC concealer palette. It's not so lightweight as well. It's a little bit thick and heavily pigmented. The MAC one, it sort of does the job, but it's not like thick feeling underneath your eyes. It doesn't have that thick feeling on the skin. This one does. It's a little bit thicker. Like when you touch it itself, you can feel that thickness, that waxiness in this product. But apart from that, it's a really nice concealer palette to own. And if you didn't want to get the concealer palette from inside this concealer, it's for like 99 or 100 rupees. I have this one in the shade NC5 Medium Yellow. This works for underneath your eyes, all over your face, has a beautiful satin kind of a finish, doesn't crease, doesn't cake, lasts pretty much the entire day, gives great coverage, and you would not even believe that this product is this price. It's that good. And then for blushes, I feel like Makeup Revolution Liquid Blush. This is in the shade Rose Lust. This gives me the most amount of like dewy finish I can see visibly on my skin. It's very lightweight, very blendable. Not a very long wearing blush, but I do remember enjoying this. Okay, it's been a while, but off late I really like the Fay Beauty liquid blush because I feel like it's very workable and it gives you that very seamless finish, not a very dewy finish, but it's not very matte as well. So it's a beautiful serum like blush, again not very long wearing. And the Insight blush, this one gives me visible dewiness in my opinion, and this is for like again 100 rupees. This is in the shade Dusty Rose. Not very long lasting, but beautiful on the skin. And the Mass liquid blushes, any one of the shades in this range you can pick up. It has that dewy finish. It's very pigmented, long wearing, and beautiful product. And I think the L'Oreal Worth It medium blush, the glowy blush, is also really nice if you wanted glow. And for highlighter, the only product I would recommend is the Mass Glow Fly liquid highlighter. I have this one in the shade Wing Champagne. It's so beautiful, creamy, doesn't exaggerate any texture on your face. You don't even see the shimmer particles in it, but it gives you a beautiful glow. It looks like you have some expensive product on your face. Even expensive products like expensive liquid highlighters don't give me the glow this one gives. So highly recommend this one. And then for lipsticks, I feel like there are just few products in my lipstick collection that gives me that shine, high shine, and one of that is this NYX Lip Ivy Hydrating Gloss Serum. This is like extremely glossy, even more than the Romand Juicy Lasting Tint. Even that is really nice. Like I wear that on a day-to-day basis. But if you didn't want to try that, you wanted to try this, this gives you more glossiness compared to all of those products. I have this one in the shade Mocha Me Wet and a couple of other shades. And then the Swiss Beauty Twisted Caramel Lipstick. I feel like it's not like that high shine, but it's beautiful. Like if there was like a glossy finish of a product I would recommend to you, it's this one. It's not like gloss, it's like satin finish. And because I recommend this because it doesn't cling on to your dry patches, doesn't exaggerate anything on your lips, and also the lines on your lips so beautifully masked with this formulation, as well as the Swiss Beauty Select or Dare to Matte lipstick formulation. This is a satin formulation again, but it just is so beautiful. Like you wouldn't even know the price point of this lipstick when you have it on your lips. It's creamy, it's like not exaggerating anything, and like the lines on my lips are not even visible when I wear these. Some lipsticks that exaggerate it are like the the Fay Beauty lipstick. This will just make sure that all the lines on your lips, all the dry patches on your lips are so much more visible, especially some shades in that. But these don't do that. And another product which comes closest to the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, the bullet lipstick, is this Color Queen lipstick. I have a couple of different shades from this. I picked it up to see if it's a dupe, the shades are dupe for the Fenty Beauty one. And this one is really high shine, just that it's a little bit like not uniformly formulated. Sometimes it just gets a little bit thick in certain places and clumpy, but the shades are beautiful, but not similar to the Fenty Beauty one. I have this one in the shade Hot Chocolate, but this is like a red shade, and the Fenty is a beautiful brown. So these are those high shine lipsticks that I own. And lip glosses, you could probably try out anything. There are so many lip glosses in the market, but I'm not a lip gloss person. The only lip gloss I used to like was the Keto lip gloss, because it's very pigmented and it looks beautiful on my lips. But apart from that, I don't remember enjoying any gloss as such. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Do let me know if you want to watch more such videos, what other videos you'd like to watch in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.